my name's Eli and welcome back to my channel Thick Threads. This is a channel dedicated to my crafty endeavors, specifically cross stitch, but I do a lot of some other stuff. It's felt like it's been much longer, though still, I think the video I published last time was 2 weeks ago, the big retreat recap, so I want to thank everyone who watched that and left some great comments. It's great to have that as kind of a record of that amazing first retreat. I do think last month I maybe pushed my recording 1 week back, so it does feel a little bit longer, but I do have a lot to talk to because I've migrated from retreat stitching to Christmas gift stitching. So the rundown for this Flosstube, classic cars honking, is I have one FFO, I have 5 starts, which 3 I can show you. I have one whip, a cool thing that I want to shout out, a cool project that was released a week ago. I got some plans, a giveaway, haul, and then if I have time at the end, I did want to talk about some media that I want to recommend, so I just tell you I've been consuming. So let us begin. So the first thing that I want to show, which I'm super excited about, is an FFO, which I posted on Instagram already. But this is the FFO I did for the Studio Paca round robin that I was a part of. So this was a round robin that I organized with 2 people from the Stitching Pixies Discord. I based off the Studio Paca Peachtober 2024 pattern she did, where we choose 2 squares to fill in and then we send it to the next person. So I got mine like a week ago. Yeah, because I did this last weekend. So this is where I started, and then this is where the 2 other people chose for me. It's kind of cool. We still have to see everyone else's in our little Discord chat, but I think with my turnip theme, they kind of picked on kind of like a more earthy, you know, ending with earth kind of theme, which I do really like. Also, which a big contrast to the more like ethereal and more sparkly kind of top motifs. So I did think, I was like, should I frame this? And then I saw that Elizabeth Can Stitch has a new bag tutorial where, to add a cross stitch to the front panel using Lincoln log cabin quilt pattern, which I really do want to do. So I was going to do that for this, but then I realized just with the way it is size-wise, I want to do just a regular like textile piece because I always wanted to do one, and I do like soft finishes. So kind of a similar, I don't know if they're like direct siblings, but they're very similar, is the courthouse step pattern. So that's what I did. So this is just a courthouse step, like only 2 levels. And that's what I did. I have corresponding blue and purple fabric, and on the back is a purple fabric that I got a while ago. And then I was supposed to cross stitch our initials in the corners because it was like perfect space for them, but I was so excited about getting it and finishing it that I just didn't do it. So when I realized that, I quickly just hand embroidered our initials and then the year, just to have that recorded. So I'm super excited. I really love this. I want to do so many, quilting I've talked about a little bit. I tried to do a little bit in the past, didn't really go, but I do want to do more. And this was a good experience. It's still hard for me sometimes with cutting and all that, but I do like this a lot. And that was my FFO. So let's talk about starts. So the first start I have is a Christmas stitch gift for one of my best friends. Oh, this is the best friend who made the D20 floss drops from last video. This was supposed to be for her birthday, but things happened, so it's a Christmas gift as it usually goes. So this is Stitch Sprout's Pirate Raccoon. Very cute. I am doing it a full stash conversion, so all the DMCs are different. And then I'm doing it on a hand-dyed a fabric 18 count Ada that I hand dyed with some Rit dye using their formula. I think this is moss green, so I used dark green, green apple, and I think dark brown creates this color. because her favorite color is dark green. So liking how it's going. It's very small, so it won't take that much time. Just need a real, I'm trying to focus on one piece to finish, and then I can have more space to work on all the other ones. So yeah, this is Pirate Raccoon. It is being held in one of the bags I got from the retreat that I won. That's very fun. The one that I'll tell you about, the two that I can show. One is the Christmas gift stitch for my mom who watches my channel, so I don't want to spoil her. She knows what she's getting, like the FFO, what it will be, but she doesn't know what pattern I'm doing. And then another one is for an ornament smalls exchange that I'm doing as a part of the Dot Dot Gooses Discord. So that I should show whenever my next episode is. So you'll see that one. And then my mom's. We're going to talk about like my filming schedule, but we might see it on video maybe next year. But on my Instagram, I'll post it. Probably post Christmas. So let's see. So, oh, and one other start is connected to the thing I'm going to showcase the project. So that will be slightly delayed. So my next start is a start along that I did with Lisa from Linguistic Stitches and Envis from Sleepy Goblin Crafts, because we all had this pattern and it's super cute and we wanted to start it. So this is the Blue Flowers Birdie Bowl. I am doing it on a 28 count Lugana in Dory by Brendan Needle, which I love. I've had this fabric, one of the first hand-dyed fabrics I ever got. And ever since seeing this pattern, I wanted to do it on this piece of fabric. The lighting is alright. I don't have my big, like, kind of like the overhead lights on because it makes a very strange, like, glare. And I just don't want to deal with it, so we're just going to deal with some shadows. But here's the little guy. This is just one, like, hour and a half. And I really like that this pattern is going to be kind of like that. That I can kind of designate like a stitchy session to getting one bird done or one of the eggs done or egg in the done. I do probably my path once I pick this up is to do this bird and then start with the basket because I don't want to leave the basket till the end because that might be boring. So yeah, in terms of floss, a majority of it is the called for DMC. Let me get it out. I'm posting it in this project bag that Spicy Selena from Spicy Selena Craft made for me. Uh, so it is a majority of the DMC. I had to switch a couple colors out. A certain yellow just ghosted. The yellow of this bird, which I believe is the American Goldfinch, will just ghost. So instead of doing the American Goldfinch, I think I'm going to just do another quail, not the exact same quail, but another kind because I love quails. Uh, but it is shown up in this bird, so I just lightened it up. Oh, I didn't lighten it up. I made it even darker. Yeah. And then I got confused because I thought it calls for two variegated flosses, and I thought they were both for the basket, but it's really the greenish part of the basket is variegated, and then the other variegated is with the bluebirds. So I actually got two variegated flosses, the Fincas from the thrift store a while back. This one, and where's the other one? And this one actually for the basket. So the green makes sense. This variegated brown wasn't necessary, but I'm going to use them both. So I'm actually kind of adding a color because I also need the regular brown for other birds, other parts of birds. And so I was like, oh, I don't have the variegated blue, but I do have this. I think I got it from Krista, Clover Hop Stitching, this variegated blue stained glass from Color and Cotton, which will work perfectly. The rest of the changes I think are just because it's just the fabric and just switching it up. Yeah, I don't know, I thought I got everything right when I went to my LNS, but I guess there's some issues. But yeah, it's pretty much it's pretty much the called for. I do wanna, while we're here, do some another stitchy kindness because I love, hitting like if I get one stitchy kindness to double with someone else's. This bag has a very cute chain, which was made by Grace of Feather Dust Stitchery, because she does beaded art and she reached out to me because I fell in love with them and said, "Hey, do you want one based on some Sanrio characters and some colors you like?" So I told her my favorite color was purple, and she made me this keychain that they were connected to two, and then I have another one that I haven't placed on a bag yet. So thank you so much. I love it. I just like having a lot of things from my stitchy friends all together. So that is Birdie Bowl. I probably will not touch this until the new year, which does suck, but it is what it is. Because I had a lot of fun stitching it the night I started it. So 28 count, it is very big. I think the called for is on 40 count, and the pattern comes with a template for the stand-up finish. I was like, wow, it's very small. Where are we supposed to like? Was it when you make it bigger with copying? No, that, well, technically, yes, you could, but the template is how small the base of the 40 count is. So mine's going to be quite bigger, which is fine. It's like a nice centerpiece to a table. I don't know where I would put it, but I wanted it so bad ever since it came out that don't matter to me. So that is Birdie Bowl. We are now, let's go to my one whip, and then we'll talk about the other start. My one whip is, which I'm really trying to focus to finish because I see it. It's not almost there, but I see the end. Is Parakeets and Jacaranda Tree by Mud Puppy Stitchery. Here's the pattern. And this is the last time you saw it because I forget when I showed it last, probably a couple of Flosstubes ago. Ever since returning from the retreat, I made this my focus piece because of two things. One, it is technically it is a Christmas gift stitch for my grandma because she used to raise parakeets, but this will also be the model photo for Kenzie for this pattern. So after I'm done with it, I have to send it to Kenzie, and then she sends it to me back, and then I can fully finish it as a gift for my grandma. All that to say, here it is. So I'm almost. Oh no, did I finish it? Okay, so I did. I believe I finished. I think I finished all the branches. So all the branch work is done. So what's left are the two flowers here. I just need to finish the inside of this flower and then finish this flower. And then the only thing left is the other parakeet. So that's why I say I see the finish line. So the goal for this weekend is to finish the flowers and hopefully start the parakeet. I think I finished all the branches. I think so. I was so surprised. I focused in and I just got it through. When I first started this pattern, I was like, oh boy, that all that branch is gonna be difficult, but just got it through. And I mean, I love working on it. It looks so good. Um, I was like, I was interested at how many colors are in the flowers, like the bodies of the flowers, and I was like, and also for just my eyes and my sensitivity, I was like, oh, I wish there were starker differences between the blues. But what I realized while stitching it these couple of past weeks is it does give it that more 3D effect, that very subtle shade. It makes it very more tubular, like a flower. So shout out to Kenzie. She's a great designer. I can't wait to do more her designs. I think after this, I have my rotation of bird designers between her, Diana Bloom, and Molly. Well, Molly, I want to stitch more mammals for Molly than birds, but she's in the mix as well. So yeah, so this will be a focus piece. Best case scenario, I can send this to Kenzie before Thanksgiving. Worst case scenario, I just send it first thing in December. But I will get this done. This will be done. So that is parakeets and jacaranda tree. I wonder. It is getting colder in Philly, so I don't have my air conditioning on, but I do have the heater, like my little space heater right next to me. So I wonder if that's getting picked up with my microphone. He says 15 minutes in. So those are my whips and my starts. Again, sorry about not showing two, but you'll see them in due time, most likely. And so what I want to talk about, and let me get my start with it, is the Spellbound Stitchery, its new volume zine of bookmark patterns that came out last week. So Amanda from Bad Stitch, who's kind of like I believe the organizer for all of this, reached out to people or like put on her story for Flosstubers and other bloggers if they wanted some details regarding the project. So I said yes. I bought it when it first came out, so I got it. But I want to. If anyone, I mean, it's very popular. It's been all around Instagram. So this is just in case you're either on the fence or you haven't heard about it. I wanted to take time to talk about it. So this collective of designers, over 30 designers, got together and stitched. This is the second time I believe they did this. I did not get it last year, and I was like kind of mad, but I've gotten some. I know some designers have from last year's have released theirs to general release. So it, like I said, it debuted last Friday and it ends the 23rd. If you already buy it or you're going to buy it, it is set up as like a Google Drive, but there's a Google Drive with the separate bookmark designs where you can download them, or a zip drive, that a zip folder that has all of them. It is a link, so Amanda wanted us to remind people that it ends in the 23rd, but you have until December 1st to get those downloads. After that, the links won't no longer work. So just because you bought it and you have access to that drive doesn't mean you'll have it forever. You need to download it separately and put them in your drive or whatever folder system you have. This year, they're supporting immigration and oh my God, humanitarian. Oh, humanitarian aid organizations, which is so needed in this time. I know last year it was directed toward literacy organizations, but due to so many events regarding our government, events around the world, uh, it makes sense why these urgent needs wanted to be addressed with this amazing like venture with these designers. So the organizations that you can donate a minimum of $15 or more gets you access to all these bookmarks. The organizations are Doctors Without Borders, PAL Humanity, which is the organization I donated to, and it services Gaza with the genocide going on, with medical needs of families and people in Gaza and outside of Gaza. There's the Canadian Immigrant Association, ACLU, and the Border Angels. So there's a variety of organizations. If you lean towards one to donate to, I also thought I learned some new organizations that I can donate in the future. So that is really good. And I think technically you donate, you need the donation needs to be 15 or more with one. I don't know if you can split it up. I don't know. Just go with 15 or more to one gets you the bookmarks. And it's really cool. I don't know if they probably did this last year. I just didn't realize, but there are different themes with the bookmarks, all related around books and other related subjects. So there's classical literature, fantasy, historical fiction, history, hobby, horror, mystery, mythology, romance, science, and science fiction. And there's a good number, like 2 to 4, maybe one has 5 with each of those thematic groups. And what I really like about the Google Drive system, it's not like a huge PDF of all of them that you kind of, if you pick one all the way in the bottom, you have to always scroll down to. There are individual patterns. So you can go to the drive, pick the ones that you want. If you want to get all of them, get all of them. If you only want a couple of them, get the ones that you want. It's all laid out in beautiful clarity. I will, while I'm talking, I will have photos posted, some graphics Amanda gave us on the screen of some of them, some of my favorites and just general graphics. I did start one, and this was I was debating which one I would go to, but once I saw the sneak peek and the full pattern, I knew I wanted to start it. And Cassidy from Cassie Audacity, who I went to the retreat with, wanted to do a Starlon Stitch Along for her birthday. And this is it's under the theme science, and this is sorry, Cicada Season by Boomerang Stitches. So I just did one session one night of this. This is on 14 count perforated paper, so it's going to be a little bigger a bookmark. I think it's called for 18 count, but I have coffee books, so it'll be a cicada for the coffee books. As you see with the pattern, it's like two patterns. I don't know if I'm going to do the husk. I know there's something that the husk. I don't know. I'm going to start with this. I think it's such an amazing pattern. I mean, Amity from Boomerang Stitches is such an amazing designer. Uh, that this is going to be good, but we'll see. I probably will do it. I have the perforated paper for it, and I bought the DMC for it. So, and I mean, matches my jacket. All these, these amazing browns and greens. This is an amazing color palette. I might use this color palette for something else after it. I don't know what though. Yeah, so I did that for Cassie Audacity's birthday. I am trying to read more, so having cross stitch bookmarks, is always nice to have. Uh, and yeah, I mean, if you're on the fence, I would get it. I would, you know, slightly tug you towards buying it. It's amazing way to fund some of these organizations that are doing amazing work, and you get such amazing patterns from some of the most amazing designers out there. So there is a website dedicated towards the spellbound stitches, which will link in the description below. I know Amanda Bad Stitch Instagram also has a lot of information, so I will also link that below. And if you have any direct questions, you could ask me on DM and I can answer it or direct you to someone who will most likely know it. So, and also I would, maybe in the comments put down which bookmark you would start first. There's a lot of them that I want to do. Loombugs, Cat Marie Antoinette, the Spring Lupine's Heron. Oh, I forget who it is. I like the design so much. I know they're from France, but it's in history. It's this big or historical fiction. It's a big fish. There's so many. I believe I downloaded a majority of them. I didn't get all of them. I did get a majority of them. Uh, and we'll see how long it takes. have so many bookmark patterns now. So that is that special shout out for that organize that project. In terms of plans, I mean, yeah, it's just full steam ahead with Christmas gift stitching. So it's parakeets, pirate raccoon, my mom's gift, and the ornament exchange. I really just want to focus on them to get those done. The only thing that's languishing is my round robin for ink circles that I'm doing, the one I have for Krista. Sorry, Krista, if you're watching. Oh, and also my Stitch for Pride. I haven't started my Stitch for Pride for this month, even though it's gorgeous. I'm gonna probably start it tomorrow. It's just that I do want to start it, of course, with the readings and learning materials, like do it while I'm learning. I've just not been in the best mindset these past couple of weeks to do that kind of stuff. I've been so behind on Flosstube for the same reason. I just been watching other media in the meantime. So yeah, so it's gonna be Christmas gift stitching and Stitch for Pride is the main priority to the end of the year. I am going to the Jingle Ball though. That's on December 5th to the 7th. I have my flyer on my fridge. I will be there. I thought it was much later, but now that I know it's much earlier, I'll still be here. So it'll be easy. I will be starting one of the exclusive designs, not one of the classes, but they also some of the designers are selling some exclusive designs in the store in addition to the class kits. So I am doing one of those, and that will be my last start of the year, barring not barring anything wild, but I'm going to stick to that because I just finalized my whip goal numbers for next year. Because it was like a thing where I wasn't feeling like stitching, but I wanted to do something for my stitching. So I got my D20 out and got out all my whips because I said to myself for whip go that I wanted, so there's 25 spaces. So I was like, let me do 20 whips and then 5 free spaces for starts. So I'm stopping at 20. So 20 whips I'm at, in a sense of like I also counted whips, one that I'm gonna start as my new year start, one whip that I know I'm starting in January 2026, and another I know I'm gonna do in February 2026. So those are weird ones, but I wanted to give them space because I knew I'm gonna do them, so I didn't want to add that to the already established 20. I am, I'm trying to think of like what I want to put out for the end of the year. I know I'm going to do a whip parade. That'll probably happen after Jingle Ball because I have all my whips. But I was thinking of maybe doing a floss tube. I don't like doing extras, but this would be an extra of kind of my plans for next year. And also talk about stitch alongs that I'll be doing next year so people can get prepared. Um, but I might maybe fold that into a regular episode. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling because I won't, when it's like Christmas holidays, I won't be really filming, but I still have some time before that to maybe film a regular episode after the whip parade, and then maybe I'll just combine those two ideas. I think that's mainly it. So the next thing I want to do is talk about a fun giveaway. So I'll be right back. Alrighty, we're back. So the giveaway. This is the last fabric that I'm giving away from the Emily C. Pinwheel thing uh, fundraiser raffle that I won. I divided it kind of into the bulk fabric that I got. Half of it I put in my stash, half of it I've been giving away here and there. So this is the last one. This is, I believe, a fat quarter of 32 count Belfast, and I believe this is called Whimsy by Picture This Plus. And this is the one, as you can see already, that had the original stitcher who donated this material to Emily did start something. I remember asking in my Flosstube extra where I went through all these fabrics if anyone knew this pattern, and someone responded to me saying that it's, I believe, I know it's Cloud Factory, which you can tell by the faces. I think it's either First Ladies or Women of American History. So I will probably unpick that for you before I send it out. If there's a reason you want it, that's why I might wait with the person. Maybe they want to continue with it. I'm gonna assume probably not. Um, but this is amazing purple. You know how much I love purple. It's a good amount for 32 account. You can do a lot, I believe. Yeah. So if you are interested in entering this giveaway, I will have y'all write in the comment whimsy. I believe that's what this says. I'm gonna go with whimsy, which I'll have typed up because it's in cursive, so I don't want to get anyone confused. So yeah, and if you're wanting this picture this plus, please enter. Alrighty, so this is a much shorter video than I expected. I've tried to keep them a bit snappy. But I do have time to also talk about other things. I do want to shout out one floss tube that I found from a shout out that Sarah Stitchy Spot did, and it's Marlisa of Stitchy Noir, which I'll have linked down below. She does amazing webs. Of I remember the Route 66 stuff. She's in her backlog. There's not a lot of videos, so you can really go through all of them if you want. She talks about her love of Halloween stitching, and she has a bunch of whips. She did like a parade of all her finishes that looked amazing. She's doing this cool full coverage, and what I instantly fell in love with is she is I believe she's a professor of cinema studies. So at the end of most of her episodes, she does give out a recommendation of more of a classic film, sometimes noir, sometimes not. And that's one of my favorite genres. I got that Criterion subscription channel, Criterion channel subscription, and one of their mainstays is classic film. So she always gives out recommendations. I know she gave me one personally that I did watch, Border Incident, which was good and was interesting. And that kind of pushed me to also watch some more movies. So last week I watched a lot of movies, which I might talk about a little bit in inspired by Marlisa, talk about some movies. But before I do that, I do want to get that shout in. The next thing. Well, I guess let me talk about the media because I do have some time. I'm just gonna limit it to two. Three things. I'll do three things that I want to recommend, and then we'll do haul because I know some people don't like watching haul. So in terms of media, I'm gonna recommend a book, a movie, and a YouTube channel. All three things that recently have given me like a lot of joy watching and all that. So this book, I think I first saw on someone's Instagram story. I don't know why, but every time I think about it, I think it's Slow Snail Stitching. I believe I saw it on her story first, and then I had it always on my radar, and put it on hold on my library. But it's new and it was popular, so I waited a little bit. And that is With Her Own Hands: A Woman Weaving Their Stories by Nicole Nerig, I believe. Nerig. Um, she is very interesting. Her background in the introduction, she is a psychologist, and she picked up. I believe she picked up knitting and or crocheting. I don't know because of the pandemic or before. I think so, maybe in graduate school. But she picked it up, fell in love with it, and then just it just turned into her writing this book, which is a history of women in fiber crafts and fiber arts. Uh, and I really liked it. I'm a couple of chapters in. It's very interesting how it's separated. It's not maybe one may assume it's like knitting, crocheting, quilting, but the chapters are divided more in bigger concepts. So chapter one is kind of more about the materials and how they were the materials that go into creating these fabrics, like dyeing and constructing fibers. The second chapter, Webs of Knowledge, talks about the knowledge that is kind of instilled in these crafts and this work, that people replicate and people take in, learn from other women, and then replicate with their own craft. And then chapter three, which I think I'm just on, Stitching a Self, is about like representation within stitching. So it's very interesting how it's done. Each chapter is kind of like, I wouldn't call it like vignettes, but it goes a little back and forth with different cultures and different techniques, which I really like. I know some people in the reviews may find it not jarring, but I know I like it a lot. So if you are interested in broader look at fiber arts and fiber crafts, it's a very approachable book. It's not like an academic text in any way. I mean, she does her research, but it's not very dry and very analytical. I highly recommend this book. My second recommendation is a movie. So Criterion Channel is really the only thing I subscribe to. Um, and they do very fun, like curated collections of movies every month. They add some new ones. So this month it's dedicated to, and they do this a lot with specific directors from across time. So this month's director was Howard Hanks, who was known for from I think 40s to 60s, or even before the 40s. So I have a select of some of his best films. So I've seen two. The one I'm going to recommend is Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, which I will probably have the poster up. Probably most well known for it having Marilyn Monroe's performance and originated the song of Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend, which of course is such a iconic visual reference ever since. But it's amazing to see the like original and the full song. But it's like a full musical. I mean, not full music. There's musical numbers. I mean, Marilyn Monroe is amazing in it, but what's the name of the other actress? Oh no, Jane? No, I think Jane's the character's name. Oh no. I'll have it on the screen, but she's my favorite, very witty, sarcastic, kind of the foil to Marilyn's, usual character of more of a ethereal, like not ditzy. She's not ditzy in this movie. She's really like playing ditzy towards men, but she's very smart. And of course, as a lot of these like older movies have, if you like amazing costumes and a fabulous woman wearing said costumes, this is the movie for you. It's like so many, of course, the iconic Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friends pink and black dress. There's a very iconic orange dress that Marilyn wears, but also I think it's Jane Russell. It's Jane Russell. Jane Russell's character has amazing dresses as well. The story is fun. It's a comedic kind of carefree, kind of interesting plot, but I liked it a lot. I loved it a lot, and the singing's good and all that. So if you are interested, if you have Criterion, I think it's probably available for renting, or else you can get it probably maybe from your library. I also prefer that. Other movies I saw that I won't, go into more reviewish stuff, mainly from Criterion. Cult is My Passport, The Big Sleep, which is another Howard Hanks noir, um, The Corbeau, which was a very interesting movie that was created under the Vichy French, which was occupied France in World War II, but a very interesting tale that was kind of touches upon a lot of the anxieties and stuff that was happening during that time, and I believe up to this day about resentment and like society and like gossip. And then this one I will have linked because it's on YouTube, PBS, Nature on PBS. It's called Pigeon Hustle, and it's a documentary about pigeons in New York and London. And it's very interesting because I didn't know that much about like I knew pigeons, but didn't a lot know about their biology. Know that? Did you know that pigeons, like penguins, produce milk for their young? But unlike penguins, both male and female pigeons can produce the milk. I feel like the blue flower and like Kenzie with that fact. Um, okay, so I gave you all the movies. I do. It's easier to watch movies than read books for me. And then the YouTube channel. This is very niche. I in my undergrad I did history, and I focused on Latin American history. In between that, my very favorite was pre-Columbian studies and history up until I would go into Spanish contact when Spanish conquistadors and explorers came to the Americas. So a YouTube channel that goes into great depth, but is very approachable of pre-Columbian studies, ancient America, indigenous cultures, indigenous civilizations, but also brings up the current day indigenous relationships between, of course, these past events. Is called Ancient Americas, which I'll have linked down below. I watched his series on the Maya, the Olmec, a lot of course, Mesoamerica. I really like, but he also talks about indigenous communities historically in North America and in South America. So if you have any interest in that, like I do, I would check him out. It's very, very well researched. He has bibliographies. It's not any of that place you can get with this kind of stuff of conspiracy theories. He doesn't talk about that. And in the Olmec one, he does debunk, talks about a kind of a very persistent, weird conspiracy theory, like alternative theory that he kind of explains why that isn't how it is. Okay, I don't know how if I'm going to do that every episode, but I just wanted to talk about this stuff to a broader audience. So um, hopefully people are interested in that. Okay, so the last thing I really have is Paul. So if you aren't, in the hall, which I totally understand, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, comment as you wish, and I will see you next time. If you're still here, I don't have that much haul because I really like blew a lot with the retreat. I'm trying to be a bit more conscious about the haul I get because I do have another retreat that I have to pay for, and just I have a lot in stash, especially with fabric and patterns and all of that. So I'll probably talk about this more in my other videos inspired by the Seattle Stitcher because she just recently talked about it, doing a no buy. I'll probably be doing that with everything except DMC floss as needed for projects. Um, but yeah, we'll get there when we get there. So I do want to first talk about this because I said I got it for my birthday, but I never showed it because when I talked about it, it didn't arrive yet. But this is the rainbow thread pack from Pirate and Robin, which just looks just stunning, honestly. It was a pack for a specific pattern. I forget it's the name, but it's made for being a rainbow. I got it because it's a good base to have for conversions. I know for sure the Diana Bloom Feathers Fleeting Glance. I'm using this as the majority of the colors. Um, but it's so amazing. Love looking at it. So vibrant, which you come to use too with Pirate and Robin. So that's that. And I think a majority of these are in her catalog. I believe so. I could be wrong. There could be, I don't know. I think a lot of these you can get in her catalog, and they're not bespoke for this pack. I'm just assuming. I got this a while ago from a Facebook D stash, but it only came recently because just the person had some issues with the mailing. This is Woodland Spring by Buckeye Designs. I don't know what about it made me get it. It's just something about it. I know it's Woodland Spring, but there's also like a very prehistoric forest, swampy vibe to it. I want to add some stuff to it if I can. The issue is this is a design from who knows when, a much older design. And I can show you because it's very obscured in the back. You can see how it's how the pattern is. So that is going to be a huge challenge for me because how I like color charts, especially, and then this is just full coverage, so it's a lot of. I feel like I can get confused a lot, and it's a huge 22. Oh no, 22 count Hardinger, which I do have, but there is a lot of there are a lot of DMC colors, which I don't know how old this pattern is, so I might have to look out and convert to. So who knows when I'll do this, but it's just so cool. It's just so cool. The other thing I got, whoops. So this was inspired by Selena from Spicy Selena Craft. Because before the retreat that I met her at, she went to a retreat at the BU Phil Sip and Stitchery. And there was an exclusive that got kitted up for them, a drum from the Blue Flower. And very nicely, it was then very right after the retreat, it was available for general, like people just could order it exclusively from BU's Fall Sip and Stitch, and I really like it. The retreat I'm going to go to it in next April. Has a drum class. They're gonna give us another exclusive kit. I may not. I don't think I'm gonna do it and want to do this one and have it ready to finish there if they allow me to, which I think they will. Um, So that's what I'm going to do. So here's the pattern. It's called Trunktown Autumn by the Blue Flower. Here's a mock-up to show you all the animals. Very cute. Squirrel, raccoon, owl, falcon, two birds, fox, squirrel, and the lovely plant flowers. So on the kit, it's used. Sorry, used extrude design. Yeah, Dark Mountain, and it really looks like wood. That's what Selena told me. Oh, because me and Selena would also want to start this together, probably also in January. So this is one of those January starts I was talking about. Uh, but all the kits were gone, and I didn't think they didn't have any more Dark Mountain. So I remember Envis doing a project on as Whiteguard ate a oatmeal rustical, and I was like, it also looks like wood with the little grains that they have. I guess that's the oatmeal. That's the rustico. Who knows? I guess oatmeal is the color. I don't know why it's called like that. But as you can see, because of the texture and like whatever the dyeing, it looks like wood to me. So I got this in 16 count because it's the called for is 32. Oh, the model was stitched on 40 count, but the kits were 32. Huh, sorry. So I got this. I just got 16 count Ada. So I'm very excited. I might have to soak this in water to soften it up a bit, but I'm excited about this, and I really want to uh, get it ready. This will be then a very like because it's in April and starting January, so this we'll be focusing on this for a bit. This also means I do have by the start of 2026, I'll have 3 blue flowers, which is fine. I'm not a big person that gets worried if I have a lot from the same designer. Um, that would mean that I have 3 from Blue Flower and 3 from Jet X Stitch, so I'll just be focusing on one of their designs to get them finished. But they are both my favorite designers, so does it matter? Not really to me. Alrighty, that's really everything. I think probably it's been an hour, most likely, or maybe a little bit less. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me and looking at my crafts this episode. Like I said before, please like, comment, subscribe, DM me or email me if you have any questions or comments. And I hope I see you next time. And as always, please be stitching. Bye.